Hey fellas, welcome to Combat Corner. My name is Kobe.
That was really gay.
Don't say that word. You're going to get us demonetized.
Demonetized in the first 10 seconds.
We're demonetized now, even though we don't have enough viewers to be monetized.
Yeah, g'day, I'm Jackson. What was it? That voice.
Hey fellas, it's Conor McGregor from Roadhouse.
Oh, it is too.
Hope you're all having a smashing night. Hey,
today we're here
fellas.
to have a little bit of a look into UFC 301, the first pay-per-view event since we all combed our pants, due to the magnificent evening that was UFC 300.
Correct.
We'll
Got Anthony Smith
yeah,
on the card, which is always funny.
yay. But no, more
People's
seriously,
main
we've got
event.
Pantoja versus Erceg for the flyweight title. Jose
Aldo's
Aldo
back.
is back.
Got Mikel Pereira on the card.
He's always a
He's
good,
fun. Paul Craig,
which will
always
be
a bit of
good
drama with Paul Craig.
because whatever happens with Paul Craig this weekend, we will be able to match him up against someone.
Chris Curtis.
Yep.
Our two favorites.
So that'll be good. We have a drink. This is a bit of a Kiwi classic.
Bit of a throwback for you.
Very much a
Are
throwback.
you going to
for
be
me.
okay to drink this
I
without
haven't
getting addicted?
I'm going to relapse again today.
I've just
I
had a
relapsed
coffee. Have
last
you had a
night
coffee?
on pork, and now I'm going to relapse
Jesus
on the
Christ,
Blue
it's
V.
all going down. Have you had a caffeine hit this morning at all?
Yes, I had a coffee. I had a coffee with my friend Riley.
Oh, yep.
Yep.
Hey,
Shout
Riley.
out Riley, who's not listening.
Cheers,
I'll
Riley.
have to
Thanks.
tell him. I have to tell him he's getting pretty jacked now. That guy.
He is. He's getting big.
Now I'm
Big
going to
and
have to
juicy.
tell him to listen to this one because we said some nice
Riley,
things. about
Riley,
him.
you're absolutely huge and real pretty as well.
Yeah,
And
you're
you've got
really
a very good fashion sense.
You're seriously. Do you know why that is? He's
Don't
got,
try and take credit for it.
No, he's got a lot of my clothes now.
Oh, it's fucking right. Never. Anyway, guys,
because I don't fit them anymore, and he's
Oh, right.
he's growing
you're-
into his own.
you're big and fat and he's big and muscly.
That is not true.
Oh, right. Okay.
Let's get into the show.
Let's get into the show, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Combat Corner.
Oh,
I just got a little bit of that in my eye.
you know what? I haven't tried this because it's a new recipe. Apparently, they changed something in it.
Tastes exactly the same.
Well,
It actually tastes really good. Holy shit. More good energy than a living room dance off, apparently.
that is really good. It's all coming back.
Fuck, that is so good. I've not had a full sugar blue V in like a decade.
A
A
decade.
decade.
You're saying you haven't had a full sugar blue V since you were 7 years old, guys. Kobe is only 17 years old. That's something that we haven't discussed.
Jesus.
And 3/4.
No, it's, look, 10 years.
10 years.
Alexander Pantoja versus Steve Erceg is going to be a fight that happens this weekend. Erceg getting his shot after beating Matt Schnell, who was ranked number 12, which is a bit weird. But to be fair to Erceg, there really isn't that many other interesting matchups.
Yeah, I mean, you put him up against Manel Cup, and Cup's just going to pull out. You put him up against Royval or Moreno, and he's most likely going to...
Are you talking about Pantoja or Steve?
Erceg. Yeah, I'm talking about Steve. I'm saying, look, it makes sense to throw him right in there against the title holder because who else is Pantoja going to fight at the moment as well?
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
I know. So
Yeah.
I just said it for you.
That's what I'm trying to say.
You're welcome.
Okay, all right. Let's pull up the rankings.
Yeah, this
and we'll
is
just break that
probably
down.
the weirdest title fight we've had in recent memory.
It is. Steve Erceg, yeah, you see him there. He's ranked number 10. But if you break down the top 10, Brandon Moreno, Pantoja's beat 3 times.
Mhm.
Brandon Royval, he just beat him in his last fight, and he's beaten him twice. Albazi's injured. Cara France is on a 2-fight losing streak. Nicolau is booked against Perez. Manel Karp just pulled out against Nicolau. He's a bitch, and he's injured. Muhammad Makayev just fought Perez. I think there's an issue with him, maybe. Perez, he's already obviously booked. And Tim Elliott, I don't even know when his last fight was.
Not
think
too
it was
long
a loss.
ago.
Really?
No, I don't think so.
But who wants to see Tim Elliott fight for the belt?
No,
Like,
but
way,
that's the
you
other
know,
thing is Steve just came off a very impressive victory. A really
Very impressive victory.
very
and
impressive knockout.
He's been knocking out people left, right, and center.
Wasn't it on the same night of who was on that fight? Oh, I'm trying to think
What
now.
are you talking about?
There was another flyweight fight on the same card. I'm sure of it.
Oh, yeah. Makayev and Alex Perez.
Yeah, and that was supposed to be the title eliminator.
Pretty much, yeah. If Makayev won, but maybe Makayev's injured. Well, no, I don't think he is.
No, he just had a really,
It was boring.
a
was
very
shit.
boring performance.
Makayev, you're a bitch.
And the flyweight division, which is already in scrutiny for being too boring, I guess they didn't want to.
No.
Yeah. Goddamn.
Good breakdown there. No.
Well, no.
Yeah.
You know what? They know.
I know
I'm
what you
talking
mean,
about.
mate. No one wants to see Mohammed Makayev fight for a belt. No one likes him. He's a bitch. He's one of those fighters who just shoots takedown after takedown, shoves his mouth on another man's cup just to try and get the dribble of piss that might be in that cup. That's what he is. He just sits there,
Jeez.
ready to take a load, trying to take them down, and he's not even an aggressive wrestler. Yes, he's good. He gets takedowns sometimes, but he's like a 1 out of 3 takedown attempt kind of guy. Then he just sits there, and it's like the whole thing with Sarukian and Charles.
Yeah.
Sits there holding onto a leg, can't get kneed. The striker has to let him back up, shoots again, shoots again, shoots again.
And funnily
Boring.
enough, Sarukian didn't get a title shot either.
Boring.
Yeah.
To be fair to Sarukian, he's fighting top guys. So
Yeah.
you know.
But like we were saying the other day, there needs to be some changes in the rule set
It fucking does. I'm
because
sick
you
of
shouldn't
it.
be able to just go through and do that kind of shit and put everyone
It's
to
lame.
sleep, apart from the guy that you're
Yeah.
that you should be submitting.
No submission attempts, no chain wrestling, just one shot at a time, fails, cocksuck.
So is Matt Schnell, the first ranked opponent that Erceg fought? Who else was there that?
It is. He fought Alessandro Costa, decisioned him. He's been very active since he joined the UFC. But Alessandro Costa was not ranked.
Oh, so he did fight David
Dobrik. He did, right, yeah, true.
Dvorak.
Maybe Costa was a last minute replacement. I'm not too sure, but
Either
So,
way,
yeah.
it is.
2 ranked opponents. I think who else were they going to put on this card as well? You know, this title fight. Could it have been Dustin and Islam? Maybe, I don't know.
It's in Brazil
Like,
though. No, it would have been. They would have wanted it to be Alex Pereira, but it sounds like Leon Edwards was offered 3 people for the main event of UFC 300, and all 3 of them couldn't
couldn't do it. Yep.
So they didn't offer him Bilal Muhammad. They offered an Islam Makhachev for a super fight, but Islam was doing Ramadan, I believe, at the time, so wasn't going to take that fight. So, look, that whole thing coming together last minute was no coincidence. I think there's no question that Alex Pereira was supposed to headline this event. We now have a flyweight title fight that, like we've just been discussing for the last 5 minutes, doesn't really make a hell of a lot of sense.
No.
And then everything below that, sure, Jose Aldo's on there, but he's fighting who? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and then we've got Anthony Smith coming in, the 3rd fight on the card.
It's not a pay-per-view worthy card. Like, this should be a fight night. It would be a really good fight night, don't get me wrong, but Paul Craig is your opening fight against Caio Borralho. You've got Mikel Pereira against Pantoja, 2 guys that really aren't pay-per-view main card worthy at all.
And
you know.
Mikel has proven that over and over again. He can't be relied upon to.
No. Anthony Smith, I'm sorry, but it's not 2018. No one cares. Petrino, I'm interested to see what he does, but I want to see him on the prelims. Jose Aldo, Jonathan Martinez, yeah, that's cool. Aldo's coming back, but for what? You know?
Yeah, he's not going to go on another title run.
He came out and he said, if I I want to see how I feel. if I feel good, Mike Tyson and Jake Paul are boxing soon, I'd like to be on that card. He actually said that in an interview. So like, what? You're just coming back to see how good you are still.
How old is he now? He's like,
so there's no
his early 40s, isn't he?
I think he's like 38, 37.
Oh, gee whiz.
Still,
That surprises me.
He's been around. He was a young dog back in the day. There's nothing on here that screams pay-per-view, even the main event.
No.
The main event could be a decent co-main event to a bigger fight.
Well, here's the thing is a Pantoja fight's always going to have some levels of excitement depending on who he's fighting. And I think Erceg is the most exciting opponent for him at the moment. So that's going to be fun. But in terms of it's the names that hold weight in terms of how many pay-per-view buys they're going to get. And this isn't going to get jack shit.
Oh, no. Fuck no. This is going to get a lot of streams.
It's going to get a lot of streams. But, well, not even that compared to other events.
Yeah.
But this is going to have a great reception in Brazil.
Until their guy loses and then they sulk and leave the arena early.
Oh, they have been getting way more... The Brazilian fans have been getting more educated and a bit more reasonable, we'll say.
Yeah, we'll see.
But look,
all I'm saying is if Jonathan Martinez and Steve Erceg win, we're going to see bottles thrown into the cage. That's my prediction. Let's break down this fight because we haven't really done that. We've been beating around the bush.
The bush is beaten.
We've been beating off someone's bush. Before we do move on, what the fuck is that? Before we do move on, I think that we're going to see a bit of a level showing event. I think Steve has got what it takes to be champion, but I'm not sure if he's at the point in his career right at the very minute to take that step.
No.
And Pantoja is 34. He's in his prime. We've seen that wrestling that he's got. We've seen that jiu-jitsu that he's got.
His gas tank is still in question.
His gas tank is definitely very much in question. But
saying that, Astro Boy here, Steve Erceg.
He's got a couple submissions on his record,
Yeah, what I was going to say is he's only fought in 3-round fights. He hasn't fought top-level opponents. Matt Schnell is...
pretty good.
He's pretty good, but he's not
top level.
He's not top level. He's not. He hasn't fought for the belt before.
No.
So it's another level. Once you get into the top 5 of this division, you've got even Kai Kara France. I know I'm a bit biased towards him a lot of the time, but that guy has fought the best in this division, and sure, he hasn't won a lot of those fights.
Yeah,
but he's a lot more tested. Steve Erceg is going in there untested against the best in the world at this division.
Doesn't that just sum up Pantoja's picture? He just looks gassed.
Yeah.
He looks completely gassed in the Sherdog picture. Yeah. No, I 100% agree. He's not faced the test that the other guys in this division have. Even like Kai, like you say. But, he's fresh blood. It's interesting. We don't know what his ceiling is. We don't even know what his level is right at this minute, So we might see him go out there and get a flash KO. Don't see it happening. I think we're going to see Alexander Pantoja's wrestling and jiu-jitsu on full display. And I'm probably calling a decision by Pantoja, if I'm completely honest.
He's
shown durability, He has. He's never been knocked out. He's never been finished.
I think there's a good chance that if he does employ his wrestling and jiu-jitsu, we haven't seen, I know we've seen Steve Erceg submit people, but they're not, like I was saying, they're not high caliber opponents. So I think there's a good chance that Pantoja can just wear away at him in the first 3 rounds, and then we're going to see a very tired Steve Erceg come the 4th, 5th round, and might even see Pantoja go for a submission.
I think
a ground and pound.
Ground and pound, yeah. We might see Pantoja get rocked early, potentially, or in the first 2 rounds we might see him get rocked, but
like you say, he's durable.
Turn it around, yeah, he's durable,
and he does have that kind of fire burning in his heart where he does want to keep the belt. Man. He showed that against Royval in that fight when he was getting way outclassed on the feet, but he just somehow kept taking him down and ending up on top. And yeah. Look.
And when he's not gassed, he's got good hands too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, yeah,
But that is the first thing that goes. As soon as his gas tank goes, his guard just comes down and his chin is there to be touched.
So, we could see Steve get a finish. You never know, but
I'm calling Pantoja by 4th round stoppage.
I'm going to say decision, but I could see that happening too, like a gassed Steve Erceg getting taken down and then finished, kind of giving up.
Don't get me wrong. I want to see Steve Erceg win, but
it would be great.
I don't know his way to that victory.
No.
At this point in time.
Have you noticed that like all the Aussies that come into the UFC have like barely any personality? Well, not all of them, but quite a lot of them.
What about Volk?
Yeah, but like,
what about Whittaker?
Yeah, exactly. They're not like
Whittaker has good personality.
Maybe personality's not the right word. They're not very like outlandish.
No.
They're not like willing to like. Well, I'm just mainly just talking. Yeah, but he's like different. I'm mainly talking about Erceg and Jack Della Maddalena.
So you're talking about 2 Australians, right?
They just have nothing on the mic. They got nothing. They're just like, oh yeah, just came in here to get a knockout, and I did, and yeah, and that's all they say. And then you just move on.
They're prison people.
Prison people.
Yeah, it's prison
fucking
island.
Dirty bastards. Moving on to the co-main event, which again shouldn't really be.
Who is this guy? I don't know if I've seen him fight before.
Jonathan Martinez, younger fellow. He's 30 years of age. 19-4 is his record. Last fight was against Adrian Yanez. He TKO'd him, leg kicked him. Oh, I remember that. He's got 2 vicious leg kick TKOs.
Oh,
real vicious. Well. Like leg kicking them until they literally fall down.
That's right.
Just give up.
We had a look at this a wee while ago, and you said that you reckon there's going to be a leg break in this fight.
I did, didn't I?
Yes.
But who did I think it was going to be? I thought Jonathan Martinez was going to have a leg kick checked, and his leg was going to break.
Because Jose Aldo has
tree trunks
for legs, but he did kind of familiarize a lot of the UFC with leg kicks.
Oh yeah, he was one of the OG leg kickers. Just look at what he did to Uriah Faber. Actually, I'll put that.
Goodness me.
Check out Uriah Faber's leg after he fought Jose Aldo. This could probably be like done for gore, but look at that. What?
Holy shit.
This was Uriah Faber's leg the day after his fight with Jose Aldo.
Oh my lord.
Crazy toughness from this guy. But yeah, guys, I mean, honestly, Jonathan Martinez, he's looking smooth. He's looking good. He's on a bit of a win streak in the UFC. He's had 6 in a row against some pretty good competition as well. Obviously beating Cub Swanson, Said Nurmagomedov, who's pretty average, but he's got the name. So Adrian Yanez, who everyone thought was going to be the man, who kind of, he's kind of gone a bit backwards, but still good win there. Vicious leg kicks, vicious kicks. He's more of a KO kind of guy or a decision kind of guy, but he's got some power in his legs.
Is there an Alexandro Perez as well as an Alex Perez? Go down. Oh, Alejandro. Sorry.
My bad. Right. Okay.
It is.
Yeah.
What were you laughing at?
Alejandro.
Alejandro.
It just sounded funny.
That's the Lady Gaga song.
Alejandro.
We'll get copyright strike.
Oh, all right. Yeah, so he has been KO'd before. This is a tough one to call. I think it's 3 rounds. I think we're going to see Jose Aldo roll back the clock and come out of this with a decision victory.
I don't know, man.
You don't?
Nah. I think, Martinez has been fighting fairly decent competition. Like I just said before, though, I haven't really seen much of him in action. But, I think Jose is probably kidding himself in a way. He thinks, if he's already thinking past this fight,
to the Jake Paul undercard.
Yeah, to a Jake Paul undercard, he's probably not all that confident. Like, if you're not coming back to the UFC to make another run at it, if you're just here for another paycheck, I'm sorry, I don't think it's going to go that well for you.
No, you're right. It usually doesn't if they're coming back for a paycheck. Let me just pull pull up the.
The what?
Why can't it just come up with what he said?
Because you
Why
just
is
put his
fucking
name
fun?
in.
Yeah, I know, but what else do you want me to put in?
Jake Paul undercard? I don't know. Just some more Jose Aldo versus Jake Paul.
It's the final fight on his contract. It's boxing match. There we go.
Look at that.
It did actually.
I should
come
be
up.
doing the Google searches.
So UFC Hall of Famer and former UFC/WBC featherweight champion will end his retirement from MMA competition less than 20 months after he previously declared he was retired. Obviously being decisioned by Merab, who didn't take him down on 30 takedown attempts.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's right. He just spooned him up against the fence for 3 rounds.
Yeah, and everyone was pissed. I needed a break for my mind and body. Sounds a bit gay, but whatever. Just due to the amount of demand I put on myself, blah blah blah. Discipline I could focus on, which was boxing. Cool, but yeah, he's basically saying this is the last fight on my contract. I think he wants to see what opportunities are available for him after this fight. He was a rumored boxing match with Floyd Mayweather in the past year. Didn't materialize.
God. I don't know about that, eh?
So basically, I want to do this fight, see where I'm at, see how I do, see how I perform, and then I can make a decision. I'm looking at maybe a big boxing fight, maybe somewhere down the line this year, but we'll revisit that after the UFC, once this fight is done. That fight with Floyd was basically all set and done, blah, 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 blah. Ali Abdelaziz, let's just ignore him. So basically, yeah, maybe he isn't 100% focused on this match. Maybe he is looking towards, the future, seeing how much money he can make,
Yeah. I'm surprised about that Floyd Mayweather thing.
It's weird, eh? Imagine that. Jose Aldo is the first one to knock out Floyd.
Floyd has got to be careful at this point, surely. Like, he's getting on and he's still taking all these weird fights.
These
I know they're
strange
against
fights.
nobodies. That fight against Digi, did you watch that?
I did, yeah.
That was hilarious. Like, what was Digi doing?
Who knows, honestly.
He
If I
was
was
trying
Deji, I would have just tried to knock him out.
He was trying to put on a Logan Paul level event. You know what I mean? It just didn't have the same draw to it.
Deji.
Digi.
Oh, fair play to Dej. I'm gonna say my money would be on Jose Aldo by decision,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going with Jonathan Martinez
Yeah.
by decision.
Sure.
There you go. Let's hope that Jose's got it still, but we will have to wait and see. Moving down the card, we've got Anthony Smith against Vitor Petrino. Vitor, obviously a Brazilian up-and-coming fighter, 11-0. Last fight was against Tyson Pedro, before Tyson retired. Anthony Smith, obviously, is very, very well weathered in the sport. Getting on a bit now. He's 35. Oh, he's only 35. Thought he was a bit older than that, but 35. He is taller, has less reach, though. So this is going to be a bit of a level checker for Vitor Petrino.
What level was Anthony Smith even at?
Who knows?
Though? Like he
did all right against Roundtree.
Sometimes he goes in there and he looks like a world beater, and other times he looks like he should be like a Bellator journeyman. Do you know what I mean?
He said something pretty interesting in the week. He was on the Believe You Me podcast with Michael Bisping. He said,
He's always on that.
yeah, I know, yeah, he's a co-host. He said, everyone knows that on my day, I beat all these fighters at 205. And the reason that people talk shit is because they know deep down that is the truth. Saw an interesting video by Lucas Tracy breaking this down. And it's like, bro, you say on your day that this is the case, right? On your day, you'd beat anyone. But who have you beaten on your day? Ryan Spann twice? Jimmy Crute. You TKO'd him because he fucked his leg up. Brian Spann, decision split. You've lost to Johnny Walker. Like, Devin Clark, is this your big win? Alexander Gustafsson, at the very end of his career, you went tit for tat with him and got
Same with
submitted.
Rua. That was at the end of his career
Yes,
as well.
exactly. Volkan Ozdemir, when he was on a bit of a down go. Rashad Evans at the very end of his career, you got demolished by John Jones, even though on paper you should have beat him. Hector Lombard, who are these wins that you got against world beaters?
Yeah, and look,
Anthony?
and then losses.
Prove it. Yeah.
Losses. Roundtree, Johnny Walker, Ankalaev, Rukic, Glover Teixeira, John Jones. These are all guys that when they get to the top of the division, they stay consistent and they keep winning. Whereas every time Anthony Smith gets to the top of the division, every time he gets 1 or 2 wins behind him, he fights someone of note and he gets demolished.
Yeah, the Glover Teixeira loss. Did you watch that one? He got his teeth knocked out, and Glover apologized to him mid-fight because he beat him so bad. Glover literally said, "I'm sorry, Anthony. This is just my job."
And Anthony would have been like, "No, it's not cool, man."
Yeah, you attacked my family.
Yeah. Who did he say that about?
Johnny Walker. And Johnny
Right.
was just like, "What?"
He was saying
I
that
didn't.
in the fight, wasn't he?
Yeah. Johnny was like, "I didn't talk about your family."
I think he was just trying to hype himself
Yeah.
up or something.
Probably.
fuck?
But someone did attack Anthony Smith's family, and he went to a decision with him, and that was a crackhead who broke into his house.
That's right. Yeah, you couldn't even finish
Couldn't
him.
even finish him. So Anthony Smith, you're the most eluded fighter in the UFC. Nice guy.
The
And
UFC should sign that crackhead.
I know. I want to see.
And that he should be the only person in the UFC who doesn't get drug tested.
Yeah.
He should be allowed to shoot up before he goes in there.
And then we want to see him against Anthony Smith too.
Mm.
Look, I'm calling Anthony Smith by decision.
Really?
Yeah, I've just got a feeling we're going to get a fraud check here. Vitor Petrino, again, he had a close fight against a demotivated Tyson Pedro. Took it to decision. He's only been in the UFC for 3 fights now. Yes, he's got a submission and a... this is the Pleasure Man here he went to decision with. The Pleasure Man, who has been cut recently. And don't get me wrong, Pleasure Man, love you. But this is going to be a level checker. He's either going to pass it with flying colours or he's going to get decisioned by a durable Anthony Smith.
It's done. Yeah, look, I want to see this be the turning point in Anthony Smith's career.
He's had so many opportunities.
Yeah. I don't think we give him another one. I want to see Petrino go in there and just dismantle his face again. Just open up all that scar tissue that exists on Anthony Smith's skull and attack his family or something. I don't know. Like, it just
Seems to work.
yeah.
I'm calling a 3rd round finish by Smith. I think we're going to see Vitor Petrino go hard early, rock him maybe even. But I think we're going to see a turn and we're going to see the durable and more experienced Anthony Smith turn it around and maybe get a takedown and finish this guy off on the ground.
The Brazilian crowd will be behind Petrino anytime he gets him hurt in those first 2 rounds.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there is a decent chance that he just follows that up.
But
just the adrenaline dump when you've got
Brazilian crowd, they're such assholes.
I'm saying Petrino,
Right.
2nd round KO.
Fair play. Look, I think that could go that way too, for sure.
And Anthony Smith's not going to wake up.
Ever.
No.
He's going to wake up and he's going to say, "Look, on paper, I beat that guy." And everyone's going to be like, "Okay, Anthony. All right, buddy."
What would happen if someone died in the cage and it was 3rd fight from the top? They would have to just stop the whole event.
They'd just take them to the hospital and pretend they didn't die until after the event, probably.
Jesus.
Mikel Pereira versus Ihor Pretoria. Mikel Pereira, obviously a very entertaining fighter. Ihor Pretoria has had a couple of good wins on the bounce. I think he's had 2 in a row now. Remember watching that one against Brajek? We broke that one down, remember?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, just the one on the row. Because Brajek he was KOing everyone on the regional scene before meeting.
That's right, yeah. And we're like, this guy is going to be it.
He got fraud checked.
Mm.
So Ihor Pretoria versus Mikel Pereira. Obviously, this is going to be think this will be a fun fight. It's
I
always
think
a fun
so.
fight with Pereira. He's on a massive winning streak.
Jesus.
He's doing really well.
Yeah, but he keeps
Holy
missing
shit.
weight.
Yeah, true.
Keeps missing weight and pulling out of fights.
He lost to Diego Sanchez due to an illegal knee. He's kind of like Johnny Walker in a way. But yeah, he's getting a real big opportunity here to build his star power and maybe slot himself into a top 10, top 15 kind of match next. Yeah. And I don't think we're going to see him falter here. I think we're going to see him get a relatively easy early KO.
Pereira.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or even a submission. He submitted the last guy for. But I think it's going to be a KO this time in round 1 from Pereira. What do you?
I want to see Pereira win. Yeah. So I'm saying first or second round finish.
Cool.
I'm not exactly sure of the method, but that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave the rest up to my verdict picks.
All right, mate.
Before I definitely watch this on Sunday.
You are going to watch this.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Moving down the card. One more
watch
time.
it with you.
Yeah, we are. So we've got.
That's a funny thing we should bring up. We never watch these events together.
Yeah, I know.
Have we watched one of them?
I don't think so.
No. Not any of these that we've broken down. Have we ever watched them together?
I don't see an issue there.
I do.
What?
I'm always at home by myself. There's a mouse in the dishwasher, and
that's another thing we should bring up.
I'm sitting there afraid.
There's a mouse in Jackson's dishwasher.
It lives in my dishwasher,
eating all the food off of the plates. They don't even turn it on anymore. They just let the mouse do the job.
Yeah, it's concerning.
It is pretty fucking shit. You need to fix that.
I just need to leave.
Yeah, you need to get
trying to leave.
Paul Craig versus Caio Borralho. This will be opening the main card, unfortunately. Look, I don't mind Paul Craig fights, but Bear Juice should not be the opener of this main.
That is a great name.
It is. What does it mean?
Jewish beer, I believe.
Right.
Bear Jew meaning. Yeah, so he would be Jewish. Come on.
He's not Jewish.
What's he talking about?
Let's just check out what's going on with this nickname. Is he actually Jewish?
Is Paul Craig a Jew? That's what we need to know. Just Google it.
I have. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Is Paul Craig Jewish?
No, it says no in this article. It says that he explains it, but I can't find where.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's yet to explain the origins behind his nickname, apparently.
Oh, I can't wait till that drops, bro. When that drops, my mind's going to be blowing.
Interesting.
Mind will be blowing.
But anyway, Bear Jew is up against Caio Borralho. I always find that name pretty difficult to
No way.
say. 15-1 Brazilian.
That photo. What is going on there?
This looks like a bit of a Paulo Costa.
Yeah.
Who should be on this card, by the way. But
that is true. He's fighting. Is he fighting again? Strickland.
That should be on this card.
God, imagine No, they could not take Strickland to Brazil.
I think he'd die.
That would be a repeat of Chael Sonnen, but like worse. Do you know Brazil has one of the highest LGBT percentages per capita in the world?
Doesn't surprise me.
You can't take Sean Strickland there.
No, but they're pretty proud of their gayness.
I know they are, but Sean...
Their gayness is part of their heritage.
Sean would really just... Oh, I don't want to say it.
Commit hate crimes.
Yeah, he'd find a way to get a gun down there.
He would.
And that would be it. It'd be all over it.
Can
you imagine that a fighter gets pulled out of a fight because of hate crimes before the event?
I could imagine that.
That was what that community was calling for in Canada.
Good thing that didn't happen.
Why? Because he lost. Did you want to see him lose?
No, it's just good that it didn't happen because that would have sucked. Because we would have not had a main event. A Manny Bang.
No, we would have had a main event. It just would have been
Neil Magny versus Mike
No,
Malone.
who was it again? Pennington versus.
Oh yeah, that would have been great. That was the worst fight night I've ever watched. That was the worst numbered card I've ever watched.
Yeah,
in
it
my
was
life.
pretty bad.
But Paul Craig, the Bear Jew, is fighting Kyle Baralio, who looks to be a little bit of a new Paulo Costa kind of vibey person, but more of a submission artist. He's had 5 fights in the UFC now since his original fight, which was on the Contender Series. He's been working his way up the rankings. Currently ranked at, I believe, 14. His last fight was against Abus, the man, the myth, who lost to Strickland. Remember Abus?
Oh, yeah.
Last fight was against Abus Nurmagomedov, who he beat by unanimous decision. He's been known to get a few submissions throughout his career, 4 KOs, 4 subs, 7 decisions. Paul Craig, obviously known for his insanely good guard, but that's about it. That's pretty much all he's got.
Yeah, he's a little bit one-dimensional. And as soon as the pressure gets put on him, he does seem to kind of panic.
Yeah, he doesn't like getting hit.
No, and
He's
unfortunately
intense.
in MMA that does tend to happen.
It happens a decent chunk of the time.
Yeah.
So Paul Craig, I want to call him as a win. I want to say he's going to win. I want to say he's going to do one of his dramatic last second wins or whatever.
I don't think he is. I think he's going to get outstruck because I think there is a good chance that Paul Craig goes for a takedown or some sort of submission fairly early because that is, like you say, his kind of one-dimensional style leans towards that. And this guy seems to be well-versed on the ground. So I think he will probably end up back on his feet not long after that and then just get pieced up.
I agree. I think we're going to see him get TKO'd in the second or third round.
I think this could go to decision.
Decision?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think it's just going to be his submission attempts are going to be neutralized by this guy, and every time they get back up, he is just going to get
Bear Jew
smacked in the face. Yeah.
I agree. I unfortunately don't see him winning this fight. If he does, it'll have to be some form of triangle armbar. That's pretty much all he does. You know, let's look at his wins. Obviously a TKO with elbows, but before that, triangle choke, TKO, triangle choke, rear naked choke, triangle choke, triangle choke, triangle choke, guillotine. A lot of triangles. He's the triangle king. But yeah, I think we're going to see a TKO for Kyle.
Who is a better guard, Paul Craig or Oliveira?
Let's say Paul Craig, because Oliveira mainly gets to the back and then submits people.
He does look pretty comfortable in his guard, though.
He does, but yeah, I'd say Paul Craig's got a better guard, but Oliveira's got a better all-round jiu-jitsu game.
Right.
Because Paul Craig is just a guard specialist. He just wants to get you in his guard. Imagine we see a new reinvented Paul Craig comes out there with like some Floyd Mayweather level fucking boxing.
That'd be crazy.
Gets a KO.
But guess what?
Not going to happen.
Yeah.
He's fucking lazy. Well, no. Look, Paul, you're not lazy, right, mate? Paulo Craig.
Paulo Craig, yeah, that's right.
That's our name.
Why are we so dark this episode? Why are we
I don't know.
sitting in the dark?
I think it's because of the sunlight. Something to do with the sunlight. But we do have lights on. The $6,000 lighting is...
They are fading away.
They are. I mean, they still work.
Kind of.
We're going to see what happens in that new set with these lights. We'll figure it out. Actually,
You
I have
mentioned we have a
ideas.
table.
I do have a table. We have a table, ladies and gentlemen.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So
What is the table?
it's a fold-out table,
A fold-out table.
white.
Very flash.
We might be quite far away from each other.
That could work.
Yeah, we'll just have to put the camera a bit further away, you know?
We'll be like that on the screen.
Yeah, we'll be micro men. Well, it'll look better. I think it's going to look better.
We need a
We're going to have a
bigger-
nice
yeah.
big like brick wall behind us.
Yeah, we'll have
Something
a
like
bigger set.
Yeah, bigger set.
We could have a flag.
Could put a flag up.
Yeah, we could put a rainbow flag.
Rainbow
and then,
flag. I want to put this up, but like the other way.
yeah, no, I think we need a bigger board.
Yeah, well, we can still use this one.
Like,
I like the idea that Jack had, but
yeah,
it's
our
a little bit high production value.
God, I had the word, but now it's gone. Yeah, it's gone.
What are you talking about?
Jack, who was giving us ideas. What is the name of someone that like you would say in law you would bring an expert into a case and they are like a. Jack just had all these great ideas.
He did.
So
he did have some. He had some really good ideas.
Maybe I don't know.
Our consultant, yeah. Well,
yeah, our consultant, Mr. Jack.
He had some great ideas. He also messaged me a couple, and he probably told you about them last night as well.
No, he didn't message me.
But the show is going to be evolving, guys. Just know that.
But I think what we need to do is find some different ways to rate the drinks rather than saying this is better than that, because that just
we'll have a number rating.
Yeah, and I think we need to have a few different things that we rate them on. Do you know what I mean?
Add it all
and
together.
then have a combined score.
And then we go.
Yeah, that's right.
We have to get some magnets.
We will.
But that's all for the future. Anyway, guys, we're going to end the show here. We do have to rate our drink.
We do.
Still. I don't know where we're going to put it.
I think it's going to go pretty high.
I think this has got to be number one.
Yeah.
Look, we're not really rating the drinks. We both like this.
Yes.
We both like the Blue V. It would probably go. I'd say it would probably go.
I reckon top 5.
Top 5. Yeah, honestly, I would agree.
But yeah, we are going to reinvent this drink segments because we have got very lazy with it in the past
and it has gotten a bit bait. So we're going to make it more exciting, more enticing. There's going to be a lot of new features added to the show in the coming weeks. We're kind of just in a little bit of limbo right now.
And we know what they are already.
We do.
We're not just
saying it. I'll tell you about them after the show, but we don't want to reveal it to all our fans right yet. It's a bit of a surprise. Anyways, guys, we've been Combat Corner.
My name's Jackson.
My name's Kobe.
Like, comment, subscribe. Check out our short form content. We put out a tier list every week. And if you don't feel like watching these full videos, they get broken down into some smaller parts. They do. But otherwise, we will see you
next time. See you on Monday.
On Tuesday.